This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Public workouts for Usyk v Joshua 2. There was a story you just told me. I don't think you can declare it though, can you?
If you want? No.
No, I think we're good.
Well, it wasn't what people think, but yeah, it's one for the football.
Public workouts. I mean, how much can we take away from these when Joshua and Usyk get in the ring?
Absolutely nothing at all. I mean, the one thing that I've learned over the years is fighters don't like doing open workouts. And actually this is quite interesting, and it's something that I would appreciate some feedback from, not from you, but from intelligent people watching on the cameras. What do you think about public workouts? Because I feel like fighters are doing less and less here. When a fighter starts their journey, they come to these public workouts. It's quite a big thing, you know. They'll get dressed up, they'll get their best kit on, they'll get in there, they'll do a couple of rounds of skipping, shadow, hitting pads. But obviously, one, you don't want to use any energy. Two, don't forget, this will come between a session. So they'll either would have trained this morning or hit pads, or they'll be hitting pads tonight. So they won't really want to do anything here. But obviously they have commercial obligations to do this. But we're always trying to revolutionise these things and actually do something different. Because if a fighter does a proper public workout, it's actually quite good to watch for the fans on the stream and here today. So I don't know what I'm rambling on about, but what you're going to see today is absolutely nothing. You're not going to see one thing from a fighter that you're going to go, oh, look, the one thing, you might see is size and the size of a fighter. You know, you're going to see AJ in his kit, you're going to see Usyk in his kit. Do they look bigger? Do they look smaller? Who knows? But everybody who's invested in the fight, from a fan's perspective, likes to debate, don't they? And this will give them something else to talk about. You should take very little away though, really.
From yesterday though, I'm sure you saw Alexander in person. What did you make of his size?
Do I want to say that he looks fleshy? I mean, I've seen some of the promo pictures. He looks bigger. I don't know. AJ looks absolutely fucking massive. I mean, his arms are twice the size of one of my thighs. He looks lean. He's speaking great. Again, like, I guess at this point it's just what can you take from anything when you're debating this fight? What I took is Usyk looks good, bigger. AJ looks good. I think when I heard them talking, I think Usyk said he'd come in at about 108 kilos. And I think, well, that's quite a bit heavier than the first fight. And I think AJ said he'd come in about 112. I think he might have come in slightly lighter. I don't know. But these guys at heavyweight, Umar, they're not training for a certain weight. They're just training, and the way they train might differ, dependent on tactics or anything. So, but Usyk coming in bigger. He's moving into the heavyweight division, isn't he? This is only his third fight in the heavyweight division, actually fourth fight in the heavyweight division, which is quite remarkable, really.
I know you said they're not training to make weight, obviously heavyweights, but their weight does still affect their performance. In terms of Anthony Joshua, looking back at his career, what do you think his best weight was in terms of his best performance, in your opinion?
He's been heavy, hasn't he? And then he came in light for the Ruiz rematch. But what I'm saying is, again, sometimes you come in at a weight depending on what you want to do in the fight or how you've been training. For the Ruiz rematch, I think he felt he'd bulked up too much and he chose to come in lighter. For this fight, I think he needs to be strong, but he needs to be fast. And I really don't feel like he's come in at a specific weight for a specific reason. He knows the game plan he's got to execute. Of course, he has to come with speed and with power, and you want to be big and strong at the same time.
If this does go past 6 rounds, are you getting worried in the fight?
Not really. I mean, I think you always know that Usyk's going to get better in the fight, dependent upon how he is physically in the fight. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you let him get into the rhythm, if you don't hurt him, if you don't break him down, if you don't tire him out, he's going to get better and better and more comfortable in the fight. So I'm fine for it to go past 6 rounds, as long as he's hurt, as long as he's marked up, as long as he's thinking to himself, fuck this for a game of soldiers. But if you fiddle around with him, let him get comfortable, like they did in the first fight, then at that point you start to go, this guy's about to go through the gears. And AJ's going to be fresher, faster, stronger in that opening 6, as every fighter would be.
You said yesterday that you're getting more confident by the day. Where's that confidence coming from?
From being around AJ, from seeing him, from listening a little bit to Usyk. I think Usyk's quite emotional coming into this fight. I felt like he said some lovely things at the round table media yesterday, but I do feel a lot of emotion from Usyk. Now listen, maybe that'll motivate him to box really well at the weekend and to win even more, but I like what I see so far. But listen, I'm also probably, very biased, often deluded, because you're on a team, aren't you? Just like being a football fan, but like you with Arsenal.
Excuse me?
You're not an Arsenal fan.
Chelsea. You know me, mate, sick there. You're thinking of Coogan.
It's Coogan and your mate Frankie Warren, isn't it? Yeah, that's what it is. No, but you know what I'm saying. So you think you got the greatest club in the world, and you'll always and I think AJ's the best heavyweight in the world. So I look at him. I think he's in tremendous shape. I think he's focused, but he has to fight the pound for pound number one. So AJ made some good points yesterday, which was really none of this matters. What happened 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago? Nothing really matters other than Saturday night, and everything that we've worked towards. If I don't get it right Saturday night, I won't win, and if I do, I'll win, and we're confident he does.
Talking about football, when are you going to make Tuchel v contact?
Yeah, I saw that from Gary Lineker. Yeah. I only saw that like yesterday. I think it's quite lively, wasn't it?
Jake Paul was tweeting about it.
Has he? There you go.
Bit of a fallout yesterday from sort of Johnny Nelson's retirement suggestions about Joshua. Obviously, you fired back. Yeah, what did you make of the debate online?
I saw a brief clip of your interview with Johnny Nelson, and Johnny Nelson's spot on. You know, Johnny said that Eddie called me a company man. Well, I was his company man. Yeah, you were my company man because you're a company man for whoever is on Sky, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. It's his job, really. But I just feel like, you know, you can say, yeah, we've always supported AJ and this and that, but to say that he should retire after, you know, if he loses to the pound for pound number one, I don't get it. But he is. You know, this is the guy who said that James Tennyson would beat Gervonta Davis, and that was being a company man for Matchroom at the time. So he is, but sometimes some people, it's not even agendas, do you know what I mean? It's just like you become so invested in that business and what you're doing, you have certain opinions. And I saw your interview, was it with Usyk as well? Yeah.
Oh, about Johnny?
Yeah. Well, listen, there's nothing against Johnny Nelson. I like the guy. I've known the guy for years. But I don't like some of the things that has been said about Anthony Joshua from that side personally, because I feel like, as we've seen in the last 12 months, it's just a little bit of, you know, bad taste, I feel. It's a guy that's given a lot. I mean, there's a lovely post from Tony Bellew on Instagram, you should read it, about what AJ has done for British boxing. And we've all benefited from that. Of course, Matchroom and me, Sky Sports massively have benefited from AJ. They've made a fortune out of Anthony Joshua, and they've been a great partner of his. And I just feel that we all should be getting behind this man because of what he's done for our enjoyment, for our businesses, for our broadcasters, for our sponsors. And in life, people forget that very quickly. It's like, boom, he's gone over. Let's just forget all that. Forget the politics, forget the black platforms, forget the broadcasters. Let's get behind AJ to win this weekend. He's a great man. He's done so much for the sport. He's inspired so many. As Bellew said, you know, he paved the way, AJ, for fights for Bellew, like against Usyk and against David Hay, and for him to have that kind of platform, because boxing was back, pay-per-view was back, everything was firing, and it all came from Anthony Joshua. So I want everybody to support him, but again, I'm biased, Umar. You know, he's a friend of mine. I'll back him till the cows come home, and I'll always fight his corner. And I don't like it when people that have benefited off this young man switch and change the mindset because of politics or because of, you know, something niggly. You know,
feel like Sky aren't backing him?
I don't care if Sky back. When you move, and when AJ made the decision to leave Sky and go to the Zone, there's a lot of people at Sky that, quite frankly, and this is just unfortunate the way that life works, wouldn't be as bothered if he lost. And that's natural, right? It's because there's a lot of emotion in the game. But I just feel that when you've got a guy that's done so much, when you've got a guy who's done so much, we should be thankful and we should back him. That's what I feel, regardless. And if he had signed that long-term deal, things are being said that 1,000,000% would have never been said. Do you know what I mean? But they're not niggly, they're not abusive. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying, but you just see it. I'll get asked to respond about those comments, and that's just my opinion. And I'm always going to give you my honest opinion.
Just to close off, your highlights of the card.
I think Filip Hrgović against Zhilei Zhang's a great fight. Zhilei Zhang looks in great shape. He punches very hard. Hrgović hasn't been active at all. Callum Smith, obviously in a big fight for him against Border League to become mandatory for the WBC world title. Ramla Ali, first female fighter. Badu Jack, Andrew Tabiti, Ben Whitaker's on early in the night. Great to have him on the card as well. It's a good card, but of course we're all here for the Unified World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, with Ben Whitaker, was that down to Anthony Joshua to select him on that card?
Contractually, AJ has a slot on his shows, and it was going to be Suleiman Sissoko, and now it's going to be Ben Whitaker. You know, he's on. He's not on the main TV broadcast, but you'll see him somewhere via a stream, which is, I mean, what an opportunity for Ben Whitaker to be able to box on a big show. And you know, he's a great fighter, and I know he's not with Matchroom. We don't care. He's with 258, and pleased to welcome him to the show.
Last question, with the World Cup coming up at the end of the year, is that going to affect your potential schedule about running shows in the UK?
Yeah, certainly England games. You know, obviously you want to make sure that you don't, you know, whenever there's an event like the Euros or the World Cup, you don't really want to schedule anything during interesting games, particularly the latter stages of that tournament. Certainly England games. So just be a question of scheduling. It won't affect the amount of numbers of shows that we're doing. It will just affect the dates that we run.
Cheers, Eddie.
Yeah, I put my dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad, I've punched him a few more times.
5 blokes outside my front door, can you come and help
One
me?
hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.